Right folks, on to the Case IH stand at LAMMA 2025, and we're going big this time with the introduction of the new AF10 combine from the Red brand. So to talk us through it, we've got Cian O'Leary. You'll have seen him in a couple of our previous episodes, one we did last year in the yellow corner with the CR11 out in the field, which was just mega impressive. So now it's the turn of the red machine. So Cian,
yes,
we'll do a whirlwind tour, shall we? Do you want to take us through it? I mean, for a start off, we've got the AF10 here, but what's in this new AF combine range?
So new AF combine range that we're looking at here, this is obviously the AF10. This is the biggest that we're going to have available in Europe off the AF range. We also have an AF9 coming to market. So an AF9 will be a smaller engine, smaller grain tank, smaller unloading auger, but we'll get onto that in a minute as we start to walk around. So yeah, AF10 range, what's new? We're probably going to start to walk around in a second. Basically, this has been redesigned from the ground up.
This isn't what you've got in terms of like the 9260 beefed up at all. No. This is brand new on top of that, is it?
The main thing you're going to find is the same as what we're sitting inside in the cab. So we'll start with the cab. So in the cab, we've got two Pro 1200 screens. You got your harvest command, and all that is just automation done from the seat. And just making it easier for the operator. So we got a new seat in there now, a lot more comfortable. With that, well, not even a lot more comfortable, we actually made a lot more updates on it. So we've got heated and cooled seats. We also have massage seats on that now as well.
Oh, lovely.
So again, it's we're just focusing on operator comfort. Obviously, a lot of operators spend many hours inside these machines over the course of a season. So
absolutely,
you need it to be as nice as possible.
Spawn, so we'll go from the front.
Go from the front,
Go for it. So, feeder house.
So feeder house.
Looks massive.
Feeder house is massive, yes. So one thing you're going to notice as we go along, so what would have been on the previous axial flows is the actual header drive would have come down at the, we'll call it the right hand side as we look at it here now.
That would have gone down there.
Would have come down here, so it would have come down here and then obviously come out to join your PTO for your header.
Right,
You'll notice on this one it actually comes down the left-hand side.
Okay.
Right. So it comes down the left-hand side, and we can actually see the shaft as we. So if we look up along here, you'll see the shaft. That shaft comes down, and then it just joins an actual a 90-degree gearbox down here, which brings it then straight across through the feeder house for your header drive.
Any particular reason why you've gone from left side to right side?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And it's a good topic, right? So something that unfortunately for health and safety we're not allowed up there, the old engine, engine bay. But anyhow, if we go up to the engine is actually located at an angle, right? And so the main reason for this is the actual power efficiency.
Right.
Okay. So efficiency of power, having that. Having the engine down at an angle, we're not losing any power by trying to change direction or minimize the changing of direction of the actual of the power. So the engine at the same angle that that shaft is, and also that the angle that the rotor is at.
Right.
So again, the engine goes back out to a CVT gearbox, goes either side and comes down then at the same angle.
So it's a lot more smoother flow of power and more efficient, effectively.
And so one thing you'll notice is our AF9, so the smaller one,
the little brother to this,
the 13-litre engine has actually got less horsepower than our 9260 series at the moment.
Right.
But with that, then it's using the power more efficiently.
Yes.
So
it's making more of it.
Exactly. It makes use of what it got.
Which begs the question: what's going to happen with like the 9260 series and that sort of stuff?
Well, look, at long term, who knows? But at the moment, there is no plans to do anything too drastic, shall we say? But yeah. So again, going on to efficiency. So just a few different points. Then, so we actually have a shaft comes out the end of the rotor. So you'll see
right at the front there.
Right at the front, just below where it says axial flow on it, you'll see there's an actual gearbox. And what that's doing is there's a crop flow. There's a crop flow beater, basically, an accelerator, shall we say.
Right.
And what that's doing is just matching the speed of the straw from the feeder house into the actual rotor.
Right.
So it's actually surprising, but the amount of damage that can actually be done in that area is, if the straw is being pulled before it can actually be released, that's what it's going to do.
So it's smoothing out that transition.
Again, exactly.
Right.
So it's smoothing out the transition to ensure good straw flow, easy straw flow, and improve your straw quality overall.
And which would start at the new, you know, the Draper headers, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If it was here, obviously it's a big thing. You can't just quite fit everything on the stand.
Yeah, and yeah, something got to give, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because it all starts with that, doesn't it? You get that presentation right, heads first feeding, all that lot, and then smoothly into the...
No, you're right. So come down here for the actual track side of all. We've got suspended tracks, very similar tracks to what, if not identical tracks to what's on the actual 9250 range or 9260 range, and even all the other 260 ranges that you have.
So you've got some giving there in terms of suspension.
you can see the two rams either side. So that's all suspension. So you got suspended tracks, but also they do a lot of oscillation as well, so they can turn left and right. Again, just for operator comfort. We do on this offer uprated tracks, and then you have to go in conjunction with four-wheel drive. You can actually get 40k, and it's very comfortable down the road.
Really?
I can fully vouch for that one.
I'm gonna say you did some bloody miles last year, didn't you?
Yes. So these tracks, this is 32-inch tracks, so they're middle of the road. So we're going 32-inch tracks. You go 28 and 28, 32, and I think 38 as well. So they go big, over 4.5 meters. These here is 3.8.
So on the 32s, it's 3.8.
And that will be, I should imagine, that'll be the overall standard track that I would recommend for people, and that will be the one that'll be the most popular. This is leaving at 3.8 meters wide. It's a good footprint on the ground. Do you know what I mean? It's the best all round. It's the best happy medium. Obviously, you're going to have to focus on keeping your width down, but making sure you're spreading the weight.
That's it.
Yeah, 32, that's where I'm going to be focusing myself.
Speaking of popularity, what sort of width head are we talking to go well with an AF10?
Yeah, no, good question. So from that side, you're going to be looking, I would say, between a 41 and a 50. A lot of that's going to depend on the farm, it's going to depend on the crops, it's going to depend on anything in between. And it depends what's happening as well. So I would say between a 41 and a 50. I personally would probably be looking to run a 45 on it, just for overall ease across transportation and whatnot. And, but it just depends. Again, it depends what the farmer, what they actually want to, what they want to do, and what their fields suit as well. Do you know what I mean?
Every situation is different, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Moving up then.
Moving up, so we're going to go look at the rotor next. So this is the biggest single rotor on the market at the moment, so we call it our AFXL rotor. It is 3.6 meters long, so it is
she's a monster.
Yeah, so it's basically two extra concaves long. Is the easiest way of looking at it. We're offering full 360 degree of separation. So if you actually look at the very top, you'll see there's actually some slotted holes in it where the grain can still come out at the top. Does that make sense? But obviously, so the front part where you can see the red at the moment, your small wire concaves, that is where your threshing is done. That's where we're trying to get crop on crop to get separate, to get the crop loose. And then as you go back, then you'll see that we're trying to get the crop out, so get the crop and the grain into a different.
So it's pretty much from the red zone onwards.
Yeah.
It's all separation.
It's all separation.
Pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah. So the percentage as well. So just above that, you see I've got our cage vein. So there's a little red bit. So we can actually change the amount of rotations. So the red with the linkage that you can see on it, that is changing the amount of rotations that the crop does. So between 3 and 6, basically. So if you want to hold the crop in there, or you want to get it out. So if it's again, why would you hold the crop in there? Harder separation. Why would you get the crop out quicker? Easy separation. The quicker you get it out, obviously the more output you're going to have in a day, you can get a bit more crop through.
And that's just altering the angle of the veins inside there.
Exactly. So you think like a screw thread, basically. It's the easy way of describing it. How many threads the crop does before it reaches the end of the rotor.
You're basically altering the rifle of that barrel, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And that's all done through the cab, depending on the operator as well.
Is that diameter the same as what you've had before?
No. So it's now a 30-inch. The actual rotor itself is bigger. So the rotor is a 30-inch rotor now. So again, it just helps with the threshing separation. So one thing you're going to see in here as well is, and we'll touch on it a bit more when we go back, but there's the actual black tray. We'll do it when we get back there. You can actually see it better. We'll go up in the back of the combine. We'll be able to see it in there, right? So returns are done this side as well. Now the returns are landed in at the left-hand side, but onto the grain pan, and they have the full sieves to go back over.
Right.
We have just short of 9 meters squared of sieve area in these now as well. So it's like 8.78 or something near that, but it is huge. It's huge.
Way up from before.
Absolutely massive,
And it is, sorry, just while we're sort of down here looking in the guts of the combine.
Yeah.
Obviously, compared to the big yellow machine, the CR11, Obviously this is single rotor, sticking with single rotor with the Case IH brand, particularly in Europe. We have seen the AF11 twin rotor in North America and Australia.
Yeah, no,
they're
North
getting
America,
that.
yeah.
But for Europe, they're getting single. Obviously CR's twin rotor. Around those rotors, are these combines based on a very similar platform effectively?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so a very similar platform. They both operate under the very similar platform.
Right.
But again, if you got the technology right, then why waste it? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, it'll be very similar.
Right, got you. And these red ones will come out of Grand Island, do they, in America?
Yeah. So red ones all be American built. Yeah.
Right, got you. Right, enough political stuff. Let's carry on.
Yes. Crack on back here. So new tires, as you can see, they're the same size as nearly Optum tires now. The VFs are big, but again, just helping that. So these are all four-wheel drive. We do have your new steering axle, new axle on the back of this, so we can turn on it effectively on a sixpence. You can see some like drop arm type wishbone things that are sitting here. So basically how that operates is as we turn left and right, what it does is it brings the tires away from the side body of the combine.
All right.
And base just helps you turn in circles. So you can actually do your 45-foot header, 40-foot header, you can still go up and down all day long.
Come right back on yourself, no problem.
And again, it's just for a bit more simplicity, really. But one thing you will see down the whole side of the combine is, well, it's nearly the lack off, but where is everything? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it, and that's kind of a famous axial flow thing, is it? You look at the side of the combine, as we've just been doing, there's nothing there.
It's simplicity.
You're straight to the rotor, aren't you?
Exactly. It's simplicity, it's ease of access to every single part of the combine, and with that then, it also less areas for dust and whatever else to build up on, and they are a very clean combine. And again, we'll see if we can go up top in a second, but up the top we have the whole, it's enclosed area. We've got 3 fans up there, they're blowing it all through. It's a very clean environment, you know what I mean, over the course of the day. Different chopper on the back than you will be used stuff with the Axial Flow.
That's it, with like the 9 series, you were bringing in the ReadyCop system to like try and manage the...
So we've now went with our own, well I say our own system, but it's no longer a ReadyCop system. So we've had this chopper spreading upwards of 60 foot to be.
Really? It'll do that?
It's impressive. But obviously we ran 50-foot headers, 45-foot headers last year, and it is more than well capable to...
it's on top of the job.
It's, absolutely on top of the job. So no more integral chopper. Inside at the end of the road we do have a beater now. So it's actually a beater with a concave. We can look inside, but I don't know how well the light will be. But if we look inside, we'll actually see, so there's a beater and a concave, and then there's a black tray underneath it.
Right.
So there's a black plastic tray, and that shakes as well. What that does is it actually brings, so anything that comes out at the very end is brought back to the front of the, back to the grain pan to be brought back over the sieves. So even if it comes out at the very end of the rotor or comes out in that last beater, it is brought back again to the grain pan to still come back through the sieves, to give it every chance to be processed. And again, it's things like this. It's just everything's in control of.
And what are we talking with losses on this bad boy?
Look, at the end of the day, you're going to keep your losses as low as possible. What we've had this year, what we've had out in the field, has been 0.2, 0.3.
Right. Not bad.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, different crops are going to vary, everything's going to vary, conditions are going to vary. This is me in field, real life, UK conditions, we've been having 0.2, 0.3. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
Again, you can say what you want, but it's there. It's there.
Spot on. Shall we have a...
Yes, let's go.
Shall we get Cameron and Chris diving in here? This should be good.
So, we'll see the beater. So this is the beater I was on about.
Yeah.
Right? Below that then you can see the concave.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And then this tray. So the tray shakes its way back forward to the front, and with that then it comes back out of the grain pan, you can see up the very front, and comes back over the sieves.
Right.
All right. From the sieves we have 2 clean grain cross augers that bring it across to the clean grain elevator, and 1 returns auger.
Yeah.
Again, it is capable of doing... We've had one of these machines in Czech Republic doing maize, been able to put through 175 ton an hour of maize.
Ooh.
So the capacity, it is designed for the capacity and the capabilities of every condition.
Right.
But that's exactly that, 175 ton an hour you're moving some crop.
Definitely. And how are you getting on with managing, keeping everything even over the sieves?
So it's all done through sensors. We've got a new, we no longer have a self-leveling sieve, shall we call it. We now have a sieve on the side of this, and basically got sensors, and it's a cross-shake system basically, and it'll make sure that the crop is even across all the sieves as well. So Yeah, just advanced. We're advancing the technology
Just
every
moving
time.
it on and moving it on.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is, I think, everything in here. So yeah, we'll continue on around here. So with these is 1500 litre fuel tank on these now. So a bigger fuel tank than you used to from 260 series. AF9 1300 litre fuel tank. We have 20,000 litre grain tank,
right,
which is 16.6 ton.
Yeah.
So that's 16.6 ton stationary of wheat. So you get moving, cutting wheat, you're going to get an extra. So we'll do some quick maths, but anyhow, so you got 20,000 litre grain tank and 210 litres a second unloading.
Yeah.
So you're talking in and around 100 seconds to unload the 16.6 ton.
Don't miss.
Yes, don't miss. But a few points on that then, right? So you're talking about 100 seconds to unload it. That's 16.6 ton. In that 100 seconds, you're going to have cut probably at least a ton at a very minimum.
Yeah.
So you are talking somewhere in the region, probably 18 ton.
Yeah, by the time you finish unloading.
Yeah, by the time you're finished unloading. Obviously, we spoke about the unloading auger, 210 litres a second. We can turn that down to a half rate. And just as a good place we're at right now, so you can see these two pulleys up here.
Yeah.
These two pulleys up here are two cross augers. So we can actually turn one of them off and that'll give us half rate. So instead of 210 litres a second, 105.
Just calm things down a bit.
Exactly.
Top off that chase a bit.
When you're trying to fill a wheelbarrow or something.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, it'll be, so it's just for topping off trailers, topping off chase bins and everything else. So this is what we're speaking about again. So this is your clean grain elevator. It says 200 ton an hour. Slightly over 200 ton an hour capabilities.
That'll do.
Exactly.
Monstrous,
so that will, when you see this actually, it's big.
Yeah.
It's a big machine.
Yeah.
This here, the little white box we can see is an NIR sensor. So for people who are doing a lot of milling wheat, a lot of barley, malt and barley and whatnot, you can get all your proteins, your starches, all of that done through there.
So
you can map it through the field.
Yeah.
You can also then take this NIR sensor out and our precision farming guys will actually be able to show you, but there's an actual box you can put that into and sample then the grain from the shed.
Right.
So you can use this all summer and map your fields out.
Yeah.
Harvest finishes, come to the winter time, you can actually take this out of here, put it into the box, put the grain on top of it, and you can check
Use it again?
You can actually check it all. So again, a huge benefit to your farm, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then from there, I'm not quite sure what else we've got.
That's it.
James.
No, spot on that. But like even from this side, it's still open down this side.
Exactly. It's still very open. And one cool thing from this side, I mean, you can see over here that we do have one belt that actually blocks our view. We've got a handle. Right. You can actually pull the handle up, drop the belt off if you need to go in and change.
Just in case you need that one belt out of the way.
The only one thing that we have even blocking it, they have a solution for us, and it's a quick and easy. Pull it up, pull the belt off, in you go, drop it back on, and away you go.
Send it out of the way.
So again, thought of everything. Quick, easy, and simple.
Spot on. What horsepower is this one again?
775.
This is 775. This one.
Yeah.
Right.
But the AF9 is 634. So,
right. Got you.
From
that 775, that's max horsepower. That is it.
Max horsepower. Yeah. From a Cursor 16, so 15.9 litre engine, and the AF9 is 12.9. Cursor 13.
Right. Got you. So. And that you'll have that horsepower all the time. There's no like boost for unloading or anything like that. It's just all that all day long.
So you'll see on the screen it'll go 100% up to when it needs at 107, 120%.
Yeah.
When you're up to over 100%, if obviously the revs come down a small bit, and that gives you your boost then and throws the. But yeah, it's available all the time.
That's it. And we've got all this automation on here for
harvest command.
That's it. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
So where you can put in your priorities of losses.
So you can go forward speed. You can actually even do it tons an hour. So I know we've spoke about this machine like this and its capacity and capabilities. If you've got a grain dryer that's not really able for 60 ton an hour, 40 ton an hour, you can put that into the screen and the machine will operate in the most efficient way to make sure that you are only doing that an hour. So you're not overloading grain dryers, but you're still combining. And with that, then it'll actually put its focus, obviously making sure you don't overachieve or underachieve, but put it into your grain quality and everything else.
Right, so you could go 60 ton an hour is enough for today. That's, we're maxing out the farm end of it. That'll do us, and it'll look after everything else.
It'll take care of everything else. So it's so many different options. Again, you can have it that, the rain's coming tomorrow.
Performance option.
Give her the beans.
Yeah. Go for it. And that'll be based on engine load and.
Yeah, so it is, and it'll do everything. So you can focus on, say you want grain quality to be the point topic, it'll take care of that as well. Right. And you can still make your manual adjustments. You can still drive it manually if you want. So Just depends what you use the operator want, really. But
spot on. Well, that was a great overview, a great flavour of the new the AF10 combine from Case IH. Hopefully, fingers crossed, if we have an half decent season in 2025, we'll get out and see it, and we'll do our thing.
We'll do our thing. We'll have a laugh, that's for sure.
We'll have a laugh, and hopefully we'll get some information across while we're doing it. All good. Well, Cian, as ever, absolutely spot on that. Thank you very much.